Yo, what's up? It's your boy Liv here, the Sofrito Papi, and I'm back with another review. And today we're going to be checking out the Gargoyle Goliath from Neca. Yes, this has been pretty hot over the last few weeks. People have been hitting Target stores trying to get their hands on one. I managed to get my hands on one. I was super excited, happy. Usually don't find a lot of things in the store, so I didn't have to pay that crazy scalper price. So yeah, man, what can I say, dude? This thing is really super dope, and at first glance the first thing that you notice is that this guy has some super huge gargoyle wings. They're pretty damn big, and I actually pulled out my yardstick here so we can go ahead and measure these wings and just see exactly, kind of get a rough estimate of how long they are. I don't know if you could see that there, but they are close to about, wow, the wingspan is about 22 inches. So it makes it kind of impossible to pose with all your other figures. I know it makes it impossible for me to pose on my shelf. I mean, he takes up so much space. So I was really happy to see that yesterday, by the way, today is October 14th, 2021. On October 13th of 2021, NECA announced that they are going to be releasing the Gargoyle quote-unquote dog, Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken, with foldable wings. Draped wings, excuse me. I don't think they move. They're not foldable, but they're draped wings, and hopefully we get this with every other gargoyle, so then that way we can have all of our gargoyles sitting on our shelves, full on display with their draped wings. That'll be pretty dope. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and let's get into the figure. Let's take a look at him, check out some of the articulation, the paint, and the accessories that he comes with. But before we do that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just take his wings off, because these things are massively huge and they get in the way. All right, as I mentioned earlier as I mentioned about a few minutes ago, this is a super dope figure. I think NECA really nailed it. I remember growing up and watching Gargoyles, purchasing their action figures, and they were always kind of like blocky, bulky, but you can't expect much from 90s figures at that time. You know, technology was really different, but I was always super excited and super happy to be able to find them in the store and use my little allowance or my comic book sale money to pick these up. So let's go ahead and let's get into a bit of the articulation. Let's take a closer look at him. Let's check out his paint and stuff like that. So for articulation, of course, you get some pretty good arm movement here at the shoulder. It raises that's about as high as it goes. It's about as low as it goes. All right. You got a swivel here at the bicep. 360. Get your elbow. You can bend your elbows there. The hand has a peg, and you can push the hand down a little bit, raise it up just a little bit more, and it does a full 360 turn. His head, because of his hair, doesn't have too much range of motion, but then again, you know, he's a gargoyle, so I can only imagine, you know, that, you know, being in stone for 12 hours out of the day is going to stiffen you up anyway. You're going to get a little bit of torso action here, as well as waist. It's about see that? Turn him around. Right, for his legs. They go about that high, go about that far back. You get, of course, you can bend at the knee, and you also have a pretty cool foot joint here. Make sure this is auto-focusing. All right, you got his little talon, and gargoyles, they stand on their toes, so they don't stand flat like that. They stand like this. So you get a decent toe bend. There's not much range on there. That's pretty much all you can do there. His tail, it does detach. I was a little disappointed with the tail. It is completely rubber. I can't remember the last time I saw 3 dots on a figure like that. But there's not really much movement. Or actually, I didn't even know you could do that. Actually, look at that. And now that I look, I thought it was one solid piece of plastic. But now that I look in here, oh, never mind. I thought that it might have been like a little metal bendy wire in that hole, but heck, you can bend a tail. Didn't even realize. Yeah, actually, yeah, there is something in there. I can feel it when I move it. So that's pretty cool. I was going to crap all over the tail, but I guess that's decent. I would have probably preferred joints, but this is actually pretty decent. Of course, you get the little peg here that you can pop right into his bottom side, and you can move the tail around. I've had the week for about I've had the figure for about a week, and I didn't even realize that I could bend a tail. I've been actually using it to keep him standing because he stands on his front feet. It's kind of hard to keep him posed by himself, especially when you got the wings. The wings really give the figure some weight. So it kind of throws him off balance. But with the promise of the draped wings, if you could get your hand on Brooklyn, which is going to be a must, you'll be able to stand him and pose him perfectly. And you can also raise up his tail, bring it over like that, and see how he does. I guess there's like a balancing art to this gargoyle. All right, I think I got it. I think that's how he's supposed to stand. Pretty slick, pretty slick. Let's take a closer look here at his paint. I really love the purple, the color purple that they use. There's some really good shading right here in the chest area. Kind of defines the more darker spots, the parts that would be obviously a little bit more shaded if he was real and if you saw him in real life. His little, I don't know what you would call this, little makeshift gargoyle skirt here is printed really nice. I really like it. I like the detail on the belt. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see though, but you do get a little bit of paint rubbing. I did get some paint to rub off on his thigh here, so now he has like a little brown blotch, but I'll worry about that later. In the back, it's split, obviously, because he has a tail. He's got some really nice color to his hair. I'm not really fond of the hair too much. As you see, if I raise it up, there goes the peg holes for his wings. So his hair kind of lays right on top of his wings. It's kind of stiff, and it prevents a lot of movement, but it still looks super dope. There's some hues of blue in there, kind of give it some aesthetics. His claws, of course, are really nice. This is actually pretty accurate too, and Neca does a good job at being accurate with their figures, which I really like. As I've mentioned in previous videos, though, I am not a super huge Neca figure collector. They're hit or miss to me, and sometimes they make stuff that I really don't care about. But the gargoyle and their whole line of gargoyles was a must-have for me. I also do enjoy some of their horror figures as well, just because not a lot of folks make really dope horror figures. And I just want to show you guys something. Don't know if you can see this. This actually fell off of Goliath while I was playing around with him. I can't tell if that's zooming in, but that looks like some paint chipping. Let me see if I can get that to focus. Yeah. Looks like some paint chipping. I have no idea where it came from, but I think we'll probably find out while I'm going through the video. Let me see if it came out of his little butt here. Nope. It is definitely from him. It's the same color. I don't notice it coming off from the figure at all, so it must have probably come off of some other part, maybe some hidden part. I have no idea. My personal opinion is Neca is notorious for overpainting the figures, and sometimes the paint does chip off. I've had that happen to a couple figures. I was recently on Reddit. Shout out to anybody on Reddit who just popped in to watch the video. And a guy had purchased a figure, bent the character's hand, and it snapped off at the peg because it was stuck. It was stuck due to overpainting. Of course, me trying to be a good guy, told him, hey, when you buy these guys, boil them, loosen them up a little bit, and then move their joints. If you don't do that, you'll most likely damage your figure or lose some paint. I did not boil this guy. I didn't feel the need that I had to. Everything moves pretty smoothly on him, which I'm pretty happy about. Let's zoom in here and let's take a look here at his face. All right. This is one of the head sculpts. This is my preferred head sculpt that I use, and I'll show you the other head sculpts once we get into that. But it's his mean gargoyle look. He's got the fangs. Very nicely detailed. Again, the paint looks great. It looks pretty fresh. I like it. I like him. I think this is probably my favorite NECA figure out of all the ones that I own, even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. I know I was really impressed with Chrome Dome. I mean, he was just a massive, massive toy. But Gargoyle, Goliath, dude, everything that I dreamed of, everything. And again, I can't get this guy to stand. It's like a science to this. You know what? Just balance him with his tail. All right. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into the accessories that he comes with. As you saw in the beginning of the video, the 22-inch wingspan, his wings. They're all right. They're kind of a hard plastic. So be careful if you do pose them with the wings. I could definitely see this falling and this kind of shattering. It is really hard plastic, almost like, it feels almost like glass, like the consistency. Like if I grab this and split it, it will definitely make a cracking sound and kind of shatter and split. You get some a little bit of wing movement here, and you can hear they added the little clicks just to hold it in place because these wings are pretty darn heavy. The detail on it looks great. I like the texturing of the wings. Instead of it being flat and painted all black, they actually gave us the scales for the wings, which is super dope. The little talon here does not move, but I did notice that on, oh God, I can't remember her name, Talia, the female gargoyle, the woman gargoyle, I noticed that in a picture, they added some articulation to this. Now, it's not the final figure, so they'll be disappointed. I'm not a spokesperson for NECA. I don't know what they have going on in the background, but I did notice on a picture there was a little cut right here, and it looked like you were going to be able to move it. Again, that is the woman gargoyle, not Goliath gargoyle. So that's something to look forward to in the future when it drops. And of course, you get 2 wings, and again, they can be pretty fragile if they fall from a high place. So in order to install these wings, you just lift his hair up right here. You take one wing, poke it right in the back, and you can pull it forward. Stick the other wing in there. Once they're on, you're pretty limited to what you can do with the wings. I don't know if this is going to happen to other folks' figures, but this wing kind of does not stay up, so I'm going to probably use some blue tacky or something to kind of hold them, and it is in there. You can pull them back and kind of, and don't worry, that's just the sound that it makes to kind of lock the wing in place. But as you see, like when you move the wings, his head moves too. And when his head moves, let's get that in there a little bit better. When his head moves, he looks downward, so it makes it really, really weird. I can't wait for the draped wings. I'm not going to use these wings. I'll probably use them for some photography or something like that, but that's probably about as far as I'll go with them. I definitely won't display them with the wings. Kind of difficult to keep them standing with the wings. So definitely, let me see if I can open his legs up here. Definitely use the tail to balance this guy. If I bring the tail down like that. He takes up a lot of space. A lot of space. And this wing just doesn't want to stay up. Well, I'm going to take it out. Not going to keep messing around with it. You get the idea. Hopefully your guys' wings aren't as fragile or as flimsy as mine. It's the left arm wing. So let's go ahead. Let's put this guy to the side and let's see what he comes with. All right. So here's his second head sculpt. I like to call this the gentle giant. Goliath was a very logical thinker in the cartoon. He didn't really attack or base his decisions on emotion. He was really tactical, and he always kept everybody in line, exactly what you needed from a good leader. The head sculpt is super dope. I like it. He's frowning there. He's kind of just looks, I don't know, disappointed or gargoyle-y. But it looks really dope. I like this head. Again, same type of hair. There's really no difference. Great coloring, great detail. You also get a set of hands. You get 3 pairs of hands. So these hands right here are the hands that come out of the package. They're not attached to him. So I'm going to take those out. And these are just like his clawy, grabby, I'm going to beat you up hands. And I think I see where the paint chipping came from. I think I might have came. Yep, check that out, guys. That came from the wrist joint right here. That paint chipping I showed you earlier. I'm just going to remove it. I don't really care for it. I don't know, it might have been over painted. And as I move the joint right here, I do see, and I don't know if you can see it, I can see a little bit of over painting right here. So makes it a little stiff. Sometimes it works in our favor, sometimes it don't. I'm okay with it. I don't see it affecting my poses for the figure. But these are his like claw grabby, rawr, I'm gonna get your hands. Got some veins. Thought that was really cool. I mean, the articulation, dude. I mean, the painting on this is really dope. I mean, on the entire figure, like they really paid attention to a lot of detail. I mean, even right here on his knuckle, he's got those grooves on your knuckle, like like that's super dope. These are the hands that he comes with, that comes by default, 2 punchy fists. Bring that in closer. I wonder if it's... I'm using a different camera, y'all, so don't mind me. Actually using the Geekset camera that we use for our podcasts. I'm not too familiar with it, so I apologize if it's not focusing the way that it should. Knuckle up. Knuckle up. All right. And then you get this hand. This hand is a holding hand. It's a grabbing hand, and it is for the book that comes with Goliath. You know, Goliath is an educated gargoyle. He likes to read. This is the other side of the book. The book kind of reminds me of the books that come with that came with the retro Doom and the gray beast figure. But it works out. Looks great. I mean, you can hold it in his hand different ways. Fits in there really good too. You don't have to use a lot of force. Oops. You don't have to use a lot of force to stick the book in his hand. And then the last thing that it comes with is a pepper. For the last few days, I've been trying to remember what's the significance of the pepper, and I should have Googled it. I don't know why we try to remember things now in 2020 when you can just Google and get the answer. And I can't remember why he has the pepper. I think it was probably one of his favorite things to eat. I don't know, but he comes with a pepper. So overall, I think Neca did a really dope job with this figure. I really like it. I love gargoyles, so I'm really biased on it. I mean, I can't wait for them to release the other ones, that's for sure. The things that I don't like about the figure are the ability to make them stand. I have to depend on the tail to make them stand, and now that I found out that you can actually articulate the tail and move it up, that disappoints me even a little bit more. I have made him stand without, like as you're seeing, he's not balancing on his tail, but it takes a little time for you to get that right. I actually don't even know how I managed to do that right now. Let me lower this a little bit so we can get the full look. Of course, I shared my concern about the paint chipping. Up to right now, you know, it's only coming from the joints, which I guess is fine. This hand is kind of loose inside of the peg hole. It's not as stiff as this one. The head, again, doesn't have a lot of range because of how big and bulky his hair is. And at this point, I try to be as transparent as I can with my reviews. I don't want to just be like, oh, this is amazing, this figure is super dope, it's a must-have. Everything has its little faults, so I'm gonna make sure I point those out to y'all. Not the bastard toys, not the bastard. Oh, look at that! I'm kind of a moron. That's the wrong hand. That hand goes there, and this hand to read his book goes there. I had it backwards. Let's make sure I got this the right side up. So, yeah, I'm always going to be transparent about my reviews. I'm going to tell you what I like about the figure and what I found that is not all that great about the figure. I'm not here to bash these companies. I think they do a wonderful job putting these together. But just like everything else that's mass-produced, there's always going to be a couple flaws here or there. So, when you listen to my reviews, I'll always, like I said, give you the good, give you the bad. Regardless of the bad, this is a must-buy and a must-have for anybody that grew up in the 90s. Like, this is a part of 90s culture. Gargoyles is one of the greatest animated series ever, and it's right up there with Batman animated series. One of my best friends, he told me the other day, when I was younger, I always wanted to see a Batman animated series and Gargoyle crossover, and I can't disagree. I mean, just imagine just how epic that would be. That would be super dope. So yeah, there you have it. This is Goliath from Neca, the Gargoyle, the first release of their Gargoyle line. Super dope. I love it. I recommend it. If I was to give it a number between 1 to 10, I would definitely give it an 8. The only reason I'm giving it an 8 is because they gave us these big old wings. and they didn't give us a combo of draped wings, and because it's just a little difficult for me to keep him standing at times. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, and as always, man, go ahead and leave comments down below. I love to interact with y'all. I love to hear what y'all got to say. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. I'm here for it all. Don't forget to check out the Geekset podcast, as well as our website, thegeeksetpodcast.com. Hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed to the Geekset podcast YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. It's the red button down below. Follow us on our socials as the Geekset podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you want to follow me, I'm always taking toy photography. Hit me up on Instagram, lib_DK, DKDEKAY. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this guy up. I hope you guys find him in Target, and good luck, y'all. Peace.